How's it going, Grady Nation? Chris Thomas here. Hope you're having a great day kind of day. And on this installment of Grady Nation, I am talking with Billy Briggs. Before we get to Billy, though, I wanted to discuss an incident that bothered me a bit at McDonald's. Mr. Thomas. Yeah, Billy, what's up? Do I have to sit through this rant, or can I go play some pinball, or make some popcorn or something? Billy, just be patient. I mean, it's not going to take that long. I just wanted to talk about an experience that happened to me that bothered me. Well, if I happen to fall asleep in the middle of the rant and it's my time to talk, can you just nudge me, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. All right, if you fall asleep, that's on you, and I'm not going to wake you up. I mean, you're not going to be on the show. Oh, so I just have to sit here like a fool, just staring at you or at the wall and waiting to talk. Billy, can I just talk about the experience at McDonald's? I mean, for crying out loud. So this was a situation where I had looked on Google for restaurants that were open. It was late, and with everything happening, restaurant hours, a lot of places that would stay open later are closing much, much earlier. And the only place that was open that day was McDonald's. And people who know me know I'm not a big McDonald's fan. But if that was the only option available, I have to eat it. So I had nothing at home. Well, Mr. Thomas, doesn't that show that, maybe you should have been prepared with something in the freezer or in a fully stocked fridge, to be prepared for a situation like that? Billy, why don't you just, lose my number? I get it. Phil Collins reference. You're so clever. No wonder your podcast is ranked top 1%. Yet, when they say top 1%, are they talking about a number of people that listen to it? One. I will have we are listened to by a lot more than one person. Because, and anyway, if it were listened to by one person, why would you want to be on? Okay, fair enough. I was just, trying to make a joke, trying to bring some levity into the room, and you're on the brag because of McDonald's, so keep going. Okay, well, maybe I'll just have you sit here and you won't even get to talk about what you did. And especially since it seems you have a problem with sleeping. Now you brought it up. Oh, Mr. Thomas, I take exception to that. I want to be able to respond. Well, I'll have you respond if you just be quiet and be behaved. Okay, so the only place that was open was McDonald's. I'm not the biggest McDonald's fan, but I said to myself, if I'm going to have McDonald's, I might as well try the deluxe crispy chicken sandwich, because I haven't tried it yet, and I want to see if it really is close to the Popeye sandwich and the Chick-fil-A sandwich with the chicken fillet. In terms of the quality and taste, is it equally as good, or is it just a pale imitation? So I went to the drive-thru and said, can I have a deluxe crispy chicken sandwich And the lady, I'm assuming it was a woman, she goes, we're closing in 20 minutes, and we're not going to be able to do that. Are you mocking her southern accent? Billy, just stop. Well, as someone who is from the South, I take an exception to, you mocking, because it can be seen as bias, and if you're going to have that bias against people from, the South with an accent, how do I know I'm going to be treated fairly? Do I have to call EEOC? Why would you have to call the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission when you're not an employee of mine? I think you're low IQ. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I'm gonna go. Billy, just stay. Okay, so I wanted a deluxe crispy chicken sandwich, and the woman said that McDonald's was closing in 20 minutes, and it would take too much time to cook up some fresh chicken fillets. And I was thinking to myself, do you get to pick and choose when certain items that are on the menu get to be prepared? Because I said, okay, well, if you don't have the crispy chicken sandwich, what is it that I can eat? And she said, well, we have the McChicken, and that's a chicken sandwich, and it's a part of the dollar menu, and you can get multiple of those. And so I thought to myself, okay, you're willing to make a McChicken, but you're not willing to make a deluxe crispy chicken sandwich. Is it really that much more work? Is it really that more involved? I don't know. It just seemed bizarre to me. Billy, you are a bad person. I'm gonna put the mic away. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take the mic away from him. Okay, hopefully you won't be able to hear him now. Okay, so Billy's asleep, but apparently this story is bothering him, or maybe he just has a condition that I'm not aware of. Okay, so the lady in the drive-thru said, you can have McChicken. And I said, all right, what else can I have? Can I have a double quarter pounder with cheese? And she said, oh no, that'll take too long to prepare. And I was like, what? What can I have then? And so she goes, you can have a double cheeseburger. So the most basic stuff that they can just throw together, or that they already had, she was willing to allow me to order. But if anything required additional effort, a few extra seconds, heaven forbid, I wasn't allowed to order. So what ended up happening was I got 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 McChicken sandwiches, one of those apple fritters, nothing to write home about, a cinnamon roll, and the cinnamon roll, it felt like someone, just dumped a bag of sugar into my mouth. I got what else did I get now that I think about it? Oh yeah, I got a frozen Dr. Pepper and an Oreo McFlurry. So at least the McFlurry machine was working and they were willing to let me have a McFlurry. But the thing was, even though I was irritated by not being able to order what I wanted, man, when you're hungry and you're starved, McDonald's tastes like a 5-star gourmet. I have to admit. I mean, it was a delicious meal overall. I mean, the apple fritter and the cinnamon roll were nothing to write home about, but I think they just, put them in the microwave for like 5 seconds each. But everything else was very good. So, it was one of those instances where I was frustrated by the inability to order what I wanted, and you should be able to order what you want. But it ended up working out. So, Billy, now that you were able to get through my rant, because I just wanted to say, McDonald's employees, please let people order what they want on the menu if the restaurant's still open. Don't say, "Oh, we're about to close, so some things you can't order, or some things take too long to prepare." If you're there before closing time, and about 20 minutes before closing time, you should be willing to make whatever's on the menu, especially since it looks like the menu has gone way down in terms of number of options. Because I do remember, McDonald's used to have things like salad, and they don't even have that anymore. So, Billy, it's time for you to talk. Let's bring your microphone back over. Billy, wake up. All right, I'm just gonna smack you like, Mr. Thomas, Mrs. Thomas, Mrs. Thomas, where are you? Help. Billy, come on, wake up. I got into a deep sleep because, that was so boring that I had no choice but to rest my eyes. Oh, it was so boring. Well, let's talk about what happened over the weekend when there was a commemoration and celebration at the library of the life of a child that survived losing both parents to the attacks in 2001, 20 years ago. She lost both her parents because the jumbo jack towers were, they came crashing. The jumbo jack towers. What are you saying? When you were talking about McDonald's before I drifted off to sleep, I started thinking about Jack in a Box in my slumber. So, I was thinking about, having a delicious jumbo jack with a few tacos and then maybe an Oreo shake, because really I think their Oreo shake tastes more like an Oreo ice cream treat compared to a McFlurry. You were complaining about the McDonald's conversation, and now you're talking about food. Just get on with it. Hurry up. Boy, you wow, someone needs to take out their maxis. Oh, okay. I know what that means. Well, take the pad out and replace it, and maybe you'll feel better. All right. So you went to this event that is supposed to recognize this brave young woman who had to grow up with no mother, no father, because of the terrible events that happened. And she talked about her experience. And what did you do? What did you do, genius? Oh, very aggressive. Well, okay, so it was something where I really went not knowing about the Jumbo Jack Tower thing and her parents. Quit calling it the Jumbo Jack Towers. Well, okay, it's kind of hard to do because now I have Jumbo Jacks on my mind, and now I have curly fries on my mind, and it's all your fault. But it was a situation where I didn't know what the topic was going to be about. I just saw her picture in the promotion for the event, and I said, "Boy, she looks good." I mean, everything was in full proportion. I'll say that. Those she might have had a few Jumbo Jacks to round her out her figure. I'll say that. Jeez Louise, will you be respectful? Be respectful to someone who lost their mother and father. Be respectful. All right. Well, anyway, she was a smoke show, and that's why I was there. So I was just kind of captivated by her beauty, but she kept going on and on about grief and the loss of having parental mentors and all that sort of jazz, and I had to had to say that I was pretty bored, but I tried to keep my eyes open out of respect to her and her her big chest area. And will you cut it out? Well, I mean, she was stacked, man. I mean, those things could probably have fed everyone in the library. That's how full they were. All right, will you? Why is everyone who comes to this program almost always off in some way? Well, being off on an awful podcast. Okay, you're gonna be thrown out. Okay, well, let me get to the point. If you're gonna try and rush me, so this lovely lady. I mean, she just kept blabbing away about what happened with the Jumbo Jack Towers. Oh boy, and I did maintain my eyes open, but the air conditioning in the library was so powerful. I think they're trying to prevent anything from spreading. I mean, it was just a full blast of air being circulated into the library and out, in and out, and that air conditioner was, boy, I mean, it was something else. And I don't know if you know this, but some people when they're under the air conditioner and it's just going full blast, you can get kind of drowsy. Well, I mean, I don't know the science of it, but that's something that my mother always used to say, is that when she was near an air conditioner and it's just running, she would get sleepy. See, your mother is a smart woman. She's also smart because she doesn't associate with you anymore. All right, we are done. No, Mr. Tom. Okay, I do have to apologize. That was dirty pool, and that was not appropriate of me. I do apologize. I shouldn't bring family into it. We have our differences, but I shouldn't have mentioned that. Okay, so the air conditioner was going full steam, and it made me tired. So, I had tried to fight with all my might to stay awake, but I just fell asleep. And the embarrassing part was that I was sitting in the front row, and I started to snore. Yeah, just like you were doing a few minutes ago. Okay, I will accept that because it did happen, and I did make the comment about your mother, so, I won't press the issue. I was snoring, and, others can hear me in the audience, and people were starting to shush me and, say, do you have no decency? And I was, half asleep. I can make out what they were saying, but it wasn't a full REM sleep. Well, I mean, if you're snoring, it sounds like you were pretty sound asleep. Well, it's all in the eye of the beholder, and so I was very, very tired and snoring, and then I started to apparently, according to the family next to me, it was a young parenting unit. Yes, it was a mom, a dad, and then their two offspring, and the two little offspring were sitting adjacent to me, and I had started to drool, and I sometimes I happen to have nightmares, and while I was drooling, I just started shaking in the chair, trying to shake my face, and it's almost like a situation where it looks like I'm dancing in my seat, but my head's waving to and fro, and my arms are just like gesticulating, and when that happens, the drool starts to fly, and so it got on the family right near me, and they got kind of rowdy, saying that I got stuff on their little ones, and so the dad pushed me so hard that I fell out of my chair, and the guest speaker who was talking about her parents and the Jumbo Jack Towers, she stopped, and she started to cry because she said I was so disrespectful and distracting of her presentation, and I at that moment I was half asleep, still kind of groggy, and I said, well, maybe I wouldn't have fallen asleep if you had pulled down those big, juicy, and I said a word that I probably shouldn't have said considering the audience. Oh, gosh. Have you no respect for your female colleagues and women you encounter? It just sounds like a common issue with you. Well, Mr. Thomas, maybe I'll ask your mother about your relation to women. Okay, we are done. This is someone who comes on the show, wants to speak about what happens. He sounds like a fool, falling asleep while someone's talking about their experience of not having their parents around as they grow up, and you have the audacity to fall asleep, drool, start having an alleged night terror where you're just like spazzing out. You get drool on people, including people that are, new to life and are very scared when someone's drool gets on them. I think you are really just a degenerate, in all honesty, and maybe this should be the last time that you are on. So you're just gonna alienate everyone. At this rate, it's gonna be just you talking to yourself about, I didn't get the correct change at the Wendy's. Will someone simp for me and cry and, contact the Wendy's manager, because that's where this podcast is going, without us and our experiences, you don't have a show. Well, I guess we'll see. All right, Greater Nation, if you enjoyed the show, I'm not sure how that's possible. What's that supposed to mean? Well, a terrible guest like you, it can create a bad experience. But if you enjoyed the show, spread the word. Really appreciate everyone listening. It's cool to be on listennotes.com and seeing that the show is listed as one of the top 1% of podcasts in the entire world. That's pretty remarkable, considering there's almost 3 million podcasts currently going right now. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I think Listening Notes might have made a major mistake, or you might have paid them off or something. All right, Greater Nation, just ignore everything that Billy Briggs says. That's what everyone else does, and we'll check in with you next time. Do you want to have a duel? Oh, God. Okay, take care, everyone.